Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you join us from. Thank y'all so much for stopping by the live stream again. Shout out to the NTZ crew, Jacob Tanjay. Michael Beecher Life said he may be on here, but he's headed to get his driver's license, he said. Any old heads on here? That's Michael Alexander, Roger Walker. I just sent you an email, Roger. Thank you, brother. Jeffrey Tatter, man. I appreciate all of y'all's support over the years, man. It means a lot. Any new viewers and subscribers joining us for the first time, welcome. And anybody joining us on replay, you know what the topic is today is, you know, we always plan well, but there's always something that you overlook. There's something that surprises you when you get here. And we just want to talk a little bit about that and really anything because it's your live stream. So put it over here. Today is the panel. I've got some distinguished guests. I'm going to let them introduce themselves in a second. If anybody knows what the peso is, because I forgot to check it, put it up there for us, guys. But go ahead and introduce yourself, Patrick, just briefly. Where you are, where you from.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
Am I echoing?
Am I echoing?
No.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Nigeria
And
moved to the United
States.
Back in
7
And right now,
I'm in
Just started
my channel.
Channel is
Pretty much about freedom
and
traveling, exercise, leveraging their Western
practice,
practice,
skills and
knowledge,
and
exercise.
Not just
In one place, be able to
move around
move
and
around and make money on the go.
Okay.
Being able to add email. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you've got like a slow signal because you're breaking up real bad. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Martin. We got Martin back again today.
Hi, I'm Martin. From London,
United Kingdom.
And
thank you for having me back on the show, Kelvin.
I've got some
feedback coming back. An echo.
How old are you, Martin?
52.
52.
Now, I don't know if you watched my video yesterday about the midlife crisis. Have you dealt with anything like that?
I do try and
watch all your videos, but I've been very busy at the moment. I need to catch up on that. I certainly have gone through a midlife crisis.
Okay, now he said he's echoing. He said you're echoing too. So you don't have that robot on, do you, Martin?
Trying to figure it out.
But that's not streaming.
That's what I was saying. About testing it out, but it's driving me crazy.
Okay, now
it's like a delay.
let me ask y'all something, my viewers. Am I getting an echo? Are you getting an echo from me? Okay, somebody needs to close your YouTube. Do you have your YouTube open, Patrick?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Yeah,
also, you know, if you're trying to videotape this, that may be a problem too. You don't have to do that.
I'm just on StreamYard.
Okay. You're on StreamYard?
Yes.
Yeah, we're all on StreamYard. Okay. But how old are you, Patrick?
I'm 36.
I'm 36.
Okay, so your channel is mainly for the younger travelers, right? Is your channel for the younger travelers?
Yes, correct.
Okay, now is this your
My
first?
child is geared. Yeah, he's geared towards the younger man traveling, exercising that option.
Is this your first time to the Philippines?
Correct. No. I'm sorry. I came here back before the pandemic. On my way to London to go to school, do my master's. That's the first time that I discovered the Philippines. So then when I tried to come back, the pandemic was in full blown, and Philippines was locked down. I couldn't get in. So finally last year I was able to get in. I was in Manila, in Makati, Kansas City, then went to Boracay. This year I just came to Cebu, the Val City, and then
Hey, Geechee Line. Yeah, I had to remove him. Wait, guys. Hey, Geechee.
Hey.
You got a bad echo, man. Cut off your YouTube and whatever you got going on, man. Yeah, you got a lot going on over there. What's up, TJ? Yeah, you're getting worse audio now because Geechee, I don't know what he was doing. But yeah, I apologize, Patrick. But so what is it that you overlooked when you came here?
The first time?
Have you overlooked anything?
Yeah, a couple of things. One was the food. It's just like I have to really search to get a good food. If I have someone cooking for me, that's better. Other than that, I'm doing spending a good 20 minutes on the app. I grab food or Food Panda, trying to find good food. Which I didn't have that problem in Thailand.
Yeah. Now, are you in an Airbnb?
Yes, I am. I've been doing Airbnb, and I'm a host. I'm a super host, actually. Back in the US, I still have my properties in the US. That is being occupied as we speak. So here, that is my main thing. I'm searching for properties that I can lease out and convert it to Airbnb.
Okay. Have you had any success? Are you not yet?
I haven't leased out any because I'm looking at the calendars. What we do when we start searching for best Airbnb property, we do what we call enemy method, where you compare the competition. Make sure that if you put one up, you can make up your money and fill up your calendar. And most of the calendars I've seen in the Val City, even in Cebu City, just empty. It's like it's not getting filled up. When I did the same thing with Thailand, like Bangkok or Pattaya, almost every single one of their calendars all filled up.
Yeah.
So
well,
I'm still comparing that.
Well, you understand that Thailand has 49 million tourists every year coming through there. It's like a tourist mecca, man. It suffers from over tourism. So no, you no way you can compare Thailand to the Philippines, especially with the Airbnb. But I do think you're probably going to have more competition there, right?
Here in the Philippines, yes, I think so.
No, I mean in Thailand.
Oh, in Thailand, no. Because the type of properties that I'm interested in is very few hosts doing it. And I see the ones that have those type of properties, their calendars always it's very well furnished, but top of the line furniture, bed, very nicely designed, in a very nice beauty.
Hey, thanks, Arco, for that super chat. He says he needs to lower his PC audio. Is that you? I mean, because Patrick sounds pretty good to me. But they're saying you still have an echo. Wait. I'm not going to be able to bring you on, Geechee Line. I don't know what you're doing. But you're really screwing up the... Why don't you log out and log back in, Patrick? Because they're saying that you're you're still echoing.
Because I'm getting feedback from myself.
Yeah, log out and log back in.
All right, I'll be right back.
Yeah, Geechee Land, I don't know what he's doing. He's really got a bad thing. But let me get back to you, Patrick. You're 52. Have you ever dealt with a midlife crisis? Do y'all call it that over there? What do y'all call it?
Did you mean me?
Martin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I suppose
for me it was reevaluate.
I mean, so what did you go through?
My life working out. Unfortunately, I don't know how much to live, so making an adjustment in my life.
I mean, were you ever married?
I'm married to my wife in Thailand under my law.
No, I mean before you start going to Thailand.
No, negative.
No.
Yeah, they said you're echoing too. I don't know. Log out and log back in.
I think the problem is the room. Because the speakers bouncing off the wall.
Yo, why are you so far away, man? I can't. You're so far away.
Hold on. I'll probably fix it.
He says sound tonight is shot. Is that for everybody? Because if it's for me, I mean, you know, I don't know what to do.
How about now?
Well, you never sounded bad to me. They said that that you're echoing.
Yeah, I can't hear my own feedback.
But I can't hear it. He said everybody except Calvin is echo and reverb. Yeah, well, we may have to reschedule. We may have to reschedule this, guys, and I apologize. But you both are having problems. I'll bring you back on Thursday. Maybe something is going on with your connection. So I really appreciate it. But yeah, I'm gonna have to end the panel today. I'll bring you guys back on Thursday if you're available. Okay.
Can I say one thing? It's the microphone. It's too near. It's picking up the audio. Bouncing off the Patrick's form.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to. Everybody, you know, like I said, you guys are really you're doing too much. I appreciate y'all coming on. It's just a connection, and we can't do this for 2 hours. I mean, that would be crazy. He says, TJ Johnson said, it's because Calvin speakers are broadcasting the noise despite what Chad is saying. Is it me? So what are y'all hearing now, TJ? He says, I'm clear. Yeah, I'm postponing the panel. That's what I did. But yeah, I just want to kind of talk about it's some things that you always overlook. you never prepare for when you come over here to the Philippines. But I do want to kind of go back and talk a little bit about my video yesterday about the midlife crisis, because remember, we're such in denial. You know, everybody's this tough guy, and you know they've got it all together, and they never really want to talk about their weaknesses or their vulnerabilities. Man, we all know somebody's dealing with something. And, you know, one guy says, oh, I went through the same thing, but it's because I was ornery. Just call it what it was. I said, no, I wasn't ornery. I wouldn't have intentionally did the things that I did that caused me so much trouble. Remember, it makes good sense to you when you're going through it. But after you go through it and you look back, you say, what was you thinking? You know. But see, I don't have any speakers, TJ. I'm speaking into my phone. He said you're hearing it from your speakers. I guess the speaker in my phone, where everyone else sounds off twice. Okay. Yeah. He said, yeah, it's crap, mate. He said, Calvin's clear. Yeah, Michael Beach of Life said he's heading to Thailand on Thursday. So he's going to see y'all over there, TJ. David Billiter says there's so much scam going on in Cebu and all over the islands. They're lying. So many liars, I guess is what he's saying. I guess you could say a lot of it's going on, but remember, it's a lot that you can do to shield yourself from that stuff. If she tells one lie, just, you know, toss her away, because if she lies, she got to keep lying. And you know what is your definition of a scam? No, I heard him. I heard him clearly. Yeah, I already know that, TJ. I'm just telling my viewers now, okay? Calm down. But I was just wanting to see, because a lot of guys could relate to that. You know, the young guys, of course, they can't. They're probably thinking, yeah, you're crazy. I'll never go through that, right? Because you can't learn from your elders, really. We're trying to show you the way. We're trying to light the path in front of you. But a lot of you guys say, I didn't go through it. Well, they say 40 to 60, but then the article that I sent you, if you read it, it said sometimes you can put 10 plus or minus 10 years onto that. So you could go early, you could go late. Hollywood Baby says, hey, Cal, I had a midlife crisis and almost cost me my marriage. It's a real thing, bro. I know it is. I know it's real. I'd heard about it my whole life, Hollywood Baby, and we used to see it. I saw it all the time. My barber, he was an older guy. Man, next thing you know, he shows up with a convertible, a Jaguar. And he's wearing his gold jewelry and stuff, dealing with these young girls. You know, we just thought, Pete was his name. We just thought, yeah, he's a player. But that's what he was going through. My father went through it. What Times the Travel said, I liked your video on midlife crisis. I bought a BMW and put a perm in my hair when I was in the States. All I attracted was gold diggers and police. Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you, man. It's just, I had a desire for younger women, man. It came out of nowhere. It came out of nowhere, believe it or not. It was really, it was distracting me. I had to cure that itch, man. I had to scratch that itch. I went to Mexico. He said, what time? Now, not the perm. Yeah, he had the perm. Gerald Wilkins says, I'm 66 years old and definitely related to the midlife crisis. Are we living a fulfilled life? Yeah, that's really the resolution. You grow out of it. Because somebody said, well, what happened, Cal? How did you get through it? You grow out of it. You eventually become comfortable with yourself and you know what lies ahead of you, you know, the inevitable. A lot of it has to do with the approaching end of life. What's the word I'm trying to use? It affects people differently, you know, because one of the blessings is getting older, growing older, but one of the curses is, man, you start seeing a lot of people dying around you, and you know eventually reality sets in. Who is this guy? Okay, well, go ahead, man. If it's that bad, just log off. Don't stay on here crying and complaining. I mean, you really sound stupid. Well, there. I got rid of you. Now you don't have to listen to it. Atosa said, W secret to success, where will you be in Thailand? I arrived November 30th in Bangkok, then to Pattaya. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan, guys. I'm not going to lie. That's exactly the plan that I had when I went there. Because Mr. Lee picked us up in Bangkok. Because remember, if you fly into Bangkok, you're not going to fly into Bangkok. I mean, it's not like flying into Moncton and you're not in Cebu, you're just right over the bridge. No, you got a nice ride before you, because I flew into the airport that starts with an S. I can't pronounce it. And good thing he was waiting, because that's a nice ride into the city limit, into our hotel. And then we stayed there for 2 days, and then he picked me up and took me to Pattaya, and he took Eric Terry to the airport, and he flew out to Phuket. Link1111 says, hey, Cal, thanks for doing the midlife crisis video. It grounds us all in brotherhood, hence the traveling kings. Yeah, see, a lot of times I see guys over here going through it. I'm not going to bring it up because they wouldn't believe me anyway, and I would offend them. Because when you're going through it, all the decisions you're making, everything you're doing, it just seems normal. It seems like the right thing to do, but you're gonna look back on it one day and be like, man, I was crazy as hell. Making all them trips over there and all of that. He says, I can relate. Who can you talk to that won't judge what you're going through? Yeah, see, that's the whole problem. In my neighborhood, we don't talk like that. We have this image of that we have to portray. It's a tough guy image, man. I don't care wherever you see black men, you see tough guys. But we're not running nothing. We don't run a damn thing, man. You know, let's be honest. But this is the image that we have. We're tough, though. You know, you hear these athletes. It's just everybody. Cut on the internet. Cut on the television. Go to church. The preachers. Everybody's this big tough guy. You're not running nothing. We are not allowed to show that vulnerability. We're not allowed to be normal people. And I tell you, man, that's the reason why the cemeteries and the penitentiaries are overflowing with black men. Because of that. This facade of strength, man, everybody's got to be tough. You know, I'm just telling you what I'm seeing, man, what I'm living, what I'm experiencing. I've never met, man, you better not cry. If you cry, it better be at your mother's funeral. Something like that. You just can't do it. So you carrying around all that stuff, you can't get rid of it. Then somebody may even bump into you and you ready to blow their damn head off. If you hear some of these young guys, man, the way they talk, man, they don't even sound real. They don't even sound like human beings. They sound like robots. It's like, man, you got to have something. There's emotion inside of you. You're just afraid to let it out. You know, I mean, look at these gangs and all this stuff, man. They're killing for nothing, man. Come on, guys. Hey, Happy Man 6920, thanks for that super chat. He said, great and informative videos, Shine. We all appreciate your hard work. Thumbs up, my friends. Yeah, but when, you know, when somebody comes out and says, man, you know, I'm going through some problems, man, they don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it. You know, suck it up, be a man, and there you go. Next thing you know, you've done something stupid. Patrick Blackrock said, thanks for having me on the panel, Cal. Hey, what I'm going to do is, you're in DeVal. What's your schedule look like? Are you ever going to come towards Cebu or anywhere like that? But like, remember, I'm going to try you again Thursday if you're here. It just was a bad connection for some reason. He said, we all had those damn perms at one time or another. Imagine Cal with a perm. I tried to get a perm when I was in the Navy, when I was in Memphis, but it wouldn't take. You know, my hair, believe it or not, remember, man, my grandmother passed for white. I'm just saying my hair is real straight like that already. It just was straight. I look like Ike Turner or some damn baddie. I couldn't get it to curl. You know, the S curl. Remember the S curl was real popular in Memphis. I was stationed in Millington, Tennessee, and my partner, he wasn't in the service. He worked on the base. And he took me with him, and man, it looked so good. I said, well, hell, because I never tried it before. I said, give me one of them. I want that S curl. And hell, my hair just went straight. Because everybody's sitting there looking at me, I'm thinking like, yeah, maybe it's looking good. It didn't take. I look like Ike Turner, man. It was crazy. Yeah, you better cry on your pillow at night. And this is a crisis, man. When you're dealing with something so powerful like that, where you can go either way, and you don't have anybody to talk to, are you a punk? You know, suck it up. David says, you're correct on looking back on midlife. Look back and see how crazy those things we did. It was, man. I walked away from $1 million business. If you think I'm lying, man, I got people watching this video who can vouch for me. I was earning so much money, guys. It was crazy. I was earning at one point, I was earning like $20,000 per month. I was still over here. I mean, I was living it up, man. But I walked away from all of that because it wasn't interesting to me anymore. I'd rather just kick back on the beach over here with some young honey than handle my business over there. I should be rich right now. I shouldn't be worried about anything. I mean, that's the type of contract I had. I walked away from my house, from my family, man. My wife hated me, man. She really didn't know what was going on. And to this day, my kids are still kind of strange because, of course, try explaining that to your children. They were teenagers at the time. And nobody's really giving them the true story. They're living with their mother's side of the story. You know, you're swimming against the damn wave, man. Hey, across Canada says, hello, Cal. How are you doing? How's the family doing? Dane done with the renovation of the house. No, they'll be done with the outside today, painting and stuff, right? They're going to start on the inside. I'm going to take some pictures and show y'all what I'm talking about. And remember, I'm not complaining. I'm just letting you know, if you come over here and build a house or you buy a house that's basically 95% cement and hollow block, you're going to deal with cracks. And, you know, to us, to just the naked eye, it looks like a hairline crack. Well, you better get on top of that as soon as you can. And I'm going to show you what's going on. Because we're going to fix it all. And I guess in another 2 years, I'll be doing it again. Maybe it'll crack somewhere else. But I'm going to take some pictures. I'm going to do some before and after stuff. And that's just to help people, because a lot of people have no idea. I had no idea. So then when they have a house built, then maybe a year or two down the line, they're going to get mad at the builder or something like that. It's really not his fault. This is what you're dealing with. With us, you know how we are. We're going to renovate. We're not just going to sit back and let it crack, because that's what'll happen. You'll see these nice buildings and condos and stuff. They won't renovate it. They won't fix it. And that's the problem I have with buying a condominium over here. That the maintenance on them is really bad, for real. And that's my problem. But thanks for that question. Yeah, they'll be finished painting today. Hey, IBEB Radio, thanks for that super, what's this? Super sticker? Let me hit this up, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, there. So, thanks for that super sticker. Now, is this a real radio station or what is this? Mojave Desert, Sonoran Desert. He said, no matter what country we are in, we all go through the midlife crisis. We hit it on the nail. He said he hit it on the nail, denial. The sooner we realize it, the quicker we recover. Yeah, it's true, man. You start questioning and examining your life at that point. If you don't like what you see, man, you start changing stuff. You're going to change, families. You've seen it. My uncle went through it, but I didn't know what he was doing. I mean, my uncle was very successful. He lived up in Philadelphia. It's who I'm named after. And, of course, him and his wife separated, and he was 53 when I can remember, about 30 years ago, maybe a little bit less. And his wife, his girlfriend, soon to be wife, was in her late 20s. And they had another child and everything. And, nobody ever talked about what he was going through. My father went through it. They don't call it the midlife crisis anymore. They call it, you're struggling with the approaching end of your life, man. Hell, that's something. If you're a human being, but as you get older and you become more comfortable in your own skin and, the inevitable, you're going to die. You're like, okay, well, I'm all right with what lies ahead in my life. I know it's coming, so I might as well be okay with it. And you grow out of it. And you don't start over. Because remember, at 40 to 60, depending on when you hit it, man, you've accumulated a lot of stuff. You've got so many achievements, and you just walk away from it in a lot of cases. And it's crazy from somebody on the outside looking in. People thought I was crazy. They thought I lost my mind. My sister, who's 10 years older than me, she certainly did. She said, are you crazy? Giving that house away? All that hard work you did? But I couldn't see it. Hey, Greg, he says, hey, Cal, been here since May in Magsaysay, Philippines. Just wanted to say hello. You're always doing a great job. Keep it up. Thank you. Yeah, we've got a Magsaysay Street here. I believe he was like a president here. He's somebody real important. We got a Magsaysay Street here. Your legacy's in question. Have I accomplished as much as all the rest of my friends? And the crazy thing is we don't have nobody to talk to. This is when the wheels fall off. He said, can we purchase land and set up shipping container homes? You can purchase it through your Filipino wife or girlfriend, but the best thing to do would be to lease it. And see, this is what I'm thinking about getting into with Maryland. It's going to be Maryland's business until I'm able to get an SRRV or one of the other permanent resident visas. Because that way I'll lease the land to the guys, see? And then okay, I can trust him. And we'll go through the whole process together. You'll be right there with me, side by side. You'll see, instead of having to put your trust in complete strangers. But yeah, you can lease the land, I believe, up to 50 years, 25 years, then renew for another 25. Because a lot of those container homes, they're becoming real popular over here in the Philippines. Yeah, they're becoming real popular. Or what we may do is start building these tiny homes over here. See, nobody's thinking of doing anything like that over here. Everybody wants to spend all this money for these condominiums. Why would you want to spend all that money on a condominium like that? Unless, you got that kind of money, you need some type of tax write-off, or, it's an investment, what rich folks do. But if most of us are grunts, we're blue collar, we don't have millions of dollars. We're just looking for a better angle. And I just think a tiny home is better, because that's how you're buying a tiny home when you're buying that condo. Imagine these condos, man, they're no more than, if you go, it depends on where you staying, but if you go on Airbnb and you rent a condo and you go in there, it's no more than, it's anywhere from 17 square meters to 30 square meters. And you'll be shocked at how much they want for them. You're like, well, what's the price on this if I want to buy it? $4 million, $6 million, $8 million, $10 million. I'm sorry, I can't do it. He says, thanks for the update. When my wife asked for money to fix the new house I just built a year ago, I was very questionable. You opened my eyes. Thanks. No, if I don't want to show some stuff, because I don't want to make it look like the engineer didn't do his job or he's not a good engineer, because they did a great job on his house. But it's just, it goes along with, with the game over here. You're paying for that, but you don't realize it. It never occurred to me that I would be dealing with cracks. And luckily we have, let's see, we got one here, usually they're around the windows, but you got to fix them because they're only going to get worse. One, it got so bad outside my bedroom window, man, they had to fix it. It was sideways. The concrete was sideways like that because it was coming to loose. The crack was coming to loose. But luckily, we got a hold of it and we're fixing it. Don't forget to click the like button, guys. Yeah, he said fixing cracks in just 1 year. Oh my God. And then when I got your videos, then I stopped asking questions and sent the money. Yeah, ours is 2 years, but we probably should have done it after 1 year. Because I was really taken back on some of the stuff I saw. I was like, what is this? He's like, yeah, you got to get all the way down to the, to the beginning of these cracks. And I was, I was really, until he explained to me what was going on, it really looked ugly. But now when I show y'all the back, it's like brand new again because he knows what he's doing. But I wouldn't have known. From the naked eye, it just looks like a hairline crack. He says, I have to stay in my midlife crisis. I have to say, in my midlife crisis, I was scared of the young 20-something. I was eyeballing the 35, 45. But either way it goes, they were young. They had to have been younger, or you were looking for something new because you become dissatisfied with your life in general, certainly with your relationship, maybe your career. And, you want something new. You want something different. And people's like, man, you've been on that job for 25 years. One guy wrote me. Well, he wrote in the comments. He said he gave up his job for 25 years. I'm like, wow. I think he was a nurse or something. But luckily, he had worked enough years to get his pension at 55. But this is the kind of stuff that's going on. But we're watching people, self-destruct. We're not helping them. you know, we just give them something real simple like, "I'll suck it up, man. Are you weak? You know, that woman, then you having a nervous breakdown or something like that." 53 Shades Darker says, "I never had the perm, but I did rock the Jerry curl. It was called the Curly Kid." Yeah. But then they had that S curl. It was real popular in the 80s, the early 80s, especially in Memphis, you know. And I tried to get it, man, but hell, I just look like Ike Turner, man. The Sigma Enigma said, "Calvin, a paradigm shift can profoundly change you. Happiness often emerges from overcoming struggles." Yeah. See, you're right. That's what they're saying. There's a trigger, then, you know, there's a crisis, then there's a resolution. The trigger, something happens, man. A death, a divorce, something, you know, that knocks you off your beam. And I mean, it's hard to get back on there, man. I mean, when I look back on it, I spent so much money and I gave up so much stuff that I had to have been psychologically damaged, man. Lord knows, only my wife probably, I mean, she would have killed me if I'd have stayed around, but I didn't stay around. She had no idea what I was going through. Okay. Yes. Ramon McSay, he was the president in the 50s. Hey, Booby. Good job. Where'd you get that? High five. At the market. How many umbrellas you gonna get? Booby's got another umbrella. What's up, Quintessential? He said, "Peace, brother Cal." He said, "Most people in the USA don't make up their own minds. It's groupthink mostly." That's right. That's exactly right. You know, but as men, you know, especially black men, guys, you know, a lot of people in the comments says, "Oh, it doesn't matter if you're black or white." It's not true in America. You're under a lot of pressure. And let's just face it, you know, I can say it now. I'm 60. I don't give a damn what you think. You know, I really don't care what you think. I'm telling you that you're under a lot of pressure, and it's okay to be normal. You don't have to be this tough guy and on top of everything, because you're not running nothing. You don't own nothing. You're not running nothing. You're not even in control of your own life. You know, so that's where it starts. That's where the healing starts. And that's where my healing started. Hey, Tony Townsend, he says, "The wisdom and the realness of your channel is therapeutic for a man's soul." I'm just talking about real life stuff, Tony. That's it. We so used to all this stuff, man. Everybody wants to talk over these old war stories. Turn on the internet now. You know what's big now? These old athletes, you know, they can't do anything now but sit around and tell these war stories. And they're making these YouTube channels and they're generating money because that's all they can do. Because remember, these was the tough guys. And you want to hear a lot of that old toughness. Listen to what they're saying. None of them are running their own life. They wasn't running their lives financially. They wasn't making any decisions when they were on top. But now all of a sudden, they're so tough. "Oh, yeah, I remember I played against Jordan." I don't give a damn. I don't want to hear about that, man. I don't. There's too much else going on, man. When I wanted to listen to you, you didn't have time for me. When you really could have made a difference in my life, man, you were somewhere with all that bling bling stuff. Hey, Elliot Makata, thanks for that super chat. She says, "I love you. I love you back." I'm going to get you on her because Elliot went through it too. She went through it. This is the woman's side. But one guy put in the comments that his wife went through it at 42 and ran off from him. See, this is what I forgot to mention in my video yesterday. I've had 3 women on my side of the family, and then my wife's mother. My wife's mother ran off when she was in her 40s. I just left her kids. Okay. left them there with the brother and all that. They basically raised themselves. She ran off for like a year or two going through that. I had a sister that was married, man. She's one of the most successful people I know. She woke up one day and didn't want to be married and any of that stuff. That paradigm shift that the guy was talking about, Stigma, and filed for divorce from her husband. He committed suicide. It was so profound. It was such a shift that he couldn't handle it. But too many people I've seen this happen to growing up, but my parents never talked to us about it. It was nobody's business. Man, your own business. But then when you go through it, man, it's something else. Hey, you dirty puppy. He said, click the like button. You know, he's a Mason right here, this guy is. And, you know, he had a house built over here, so he's probably got some solutions. I don't know if he gave any of those solutions to the builders of his house, but he says he's got some solutions for me. These guys, we're just filling them in, is what we're doing. But yeah, women go through it too. So many guys have had their hearts broken, man. I believe it was a lot of this manosphere stuff is people going through a midlife crisis. Because men are mad at women, man. We're mad at women. Frank Ellis said everything's about race in the Matrix. Sadly, it is. But people are in denial about that too.
Stop it.
We're in such denial. I mean, my brother's got a PhD. I mean, he's book smart, but he doesn't have the common sense that God gave an orangutan. But he's got a book sense. And there was a big, you know, nasty governor's race in Kentucky. Bashir, the white man, against Daniel Cameron, the black man, the Republican. And everybody, you know, all the black people, you know, they're against the black guy for certain because he's a Republican. And, you know, they post some of the stupidest stuff. And I'm saying, man, don't you realize no matter who it is in control in the governorship, you still got to handle your own business. What difference does it make whether they got a damn gold boot on your neck or a wooden boot on your neck? You still can't breathe. But we don't look at it like that, man. We're so stupid with all this politics and stuff. You know, it doesn't matter who you vote for. It's going to be the same damn outcome. Your life's not going to get any better. He says if you're going through a midlife crisis, get some help. Yeah, see, that's the thing, though. You usually get it after California World Travel, because when you're going through it, you ain't trying to hear what nobody's saying. Okay, you don't understand the decisions you're making seem like rational decisions to you, but to everybody else they're irrational. Why would I walk away from, man, I was earning $20,000 a month. I promise you I was. You know, this was, you know, pre-tax because I was a 1099. Imagine that. And then you just say, I turned the keys over to somebody else. You know, I mean, I walked away from that because I thought it could run on its own and all I can do is stay over on the beach with one of these young honeys over here, you know, and not have to do anything. Man, I was delusional. Walked away from that beautiful house, man, you know, my kids, you know, and they still hold it against me today, man. But to me, I was trying to rationalize everything I was doing, all that craziness that I was doing. Coming over here in the span of 11 months, I made 8 round trips to this place. And then the following year, 2010, I spent 9 months of the year here in the Philippines. But I've got a business going over there. You know, my divorce is going through, you know, I've already filed for divorce, you know, But I've got a family over there. And all I was doing was sending money. I was just throwing money at my problems. You dirty puppy said, yes, Calvin, I will give you my worthless advice after as a Mason in a couple of weeks. Are you craving something that will fit my carry-on? Well, honestly, man, you know, let me show you something. Because the guy from Chicago, he forgot. They got this. A friend of mine from Florida, he gave me this shaver. It's the only shaver that I can use. They won't bump me up. But I run out of the damn replacement blades. It's called Philips Norelco. What's that? One blade. I can order some on Amazon, but hell, you got to order so much on Amazon before they'll ship it. But anything like that or something. Musical diversity says, I'm going through it now, feeling that I should be further in life than I am now, although I'm really in a good place in my life right now. Talk about it, guys. We're not weak for talking. That's right. You're going to get to a place, you're going to be bored. You're going to be at work one day and you'll be like, man, at lunchtime, I'm leaving. I'm never coming back. You know you got money in the bank. You know, you just want to be free. You feel the world is closing in on you. You know that you got more time behind you than you do in front of you. You know, you feel like your life has no meaning. What's my purpose? What do they call that? An existential crisis. You know your time seems to be slipping away. It's all this stuff I'm trying to name because maybe it'll ring a bell. You know, you start questioning everything. See, this is when I was going through it. And remember, I'm hindsight. I'm reflecting. This is when I start questioning religion and all my beliefs, all my values, and everything. I was over here in the Philippines when I said, "Man, I don't believe in that story anymore." What was I thinking about? You know, it's just you're in that sort of mindset. He says, hey, Cal, you're not worried that your kids and ex-wife are watching your channel. Why? What am I saying wrong? I said, my poor wife. I understand she was angry with me. I understand why. I'm saying that she didn't understand Far Blazer 99 because we're both from the hood. We don't talk about life stressors. We don't talk about midlife crisis and all of that stuff. All they saw of me was just, you old black MF, you low down, you selfish, you ornery, you know, you just a womanizer. That's all they saw. Not once did anybody ask me what was wrong with me. Yeah, now there you go. Have a nice day. See, here's the thing, guys. Here's another thing. Y'all don't listen. You in denial if you've never been through it. Okay, he says, I can see you walking away from a wife. Hard to imagine walking away from my kids. Kids need their father. When you're going through something like this, there you go. Have a nice day. You don't see the insanity of what you're doing. Do you understand that it's a psychological thing that's going on inside your mind? Okay. The irrational seems rational to you. The decisions you're making seem okay to you, but to everybody else, they're crazy. Of course, kids need their father. Okay. But if you've never been through a midlife crisis, you can't say that because people walk away from their families and start new families. But you guys, this is the problem with us over there. There's always got to be somebody that wants to be perfect. You know, that doesn't want to be human. Human beings are flawed individuals. We're flawed creatures, guys. Okay, don't think you're perfect. You know, you're a flawed creature, buddy. Okay. Toaster said, I purchased that after you initially told us last year. I love the razor. Yeah, it's the only thing that doesn't give me bumps, man, and I hate them bumps. But of course, kids need their father. But you can still be in their life like I was without living in misery with their mother. How do you make that work? Okay, I didn't desert my kids. My kids know exactly where I am today. It's not like I just been gone for 5 years. You got to understand, my oldest daughter's 28. I mean, y'all see into this stuff what you want to see. We're having a conversation. We're not beating each other up. Come on, guys. You know, we're trying to help each other. Okay, one of these days, I hope it never happens to you. He says a hot towel helps right after. Yeah, see, that's the problem. I'd have to boil some water here because, you know, I don't have the hot water coming out of the faucet here. What time is it? Travis said, Cal, isn't the main reason a lot of men are going overseas in the fourth quarter of their life is experience a younger woman and a better life going to the Philippines to save my life? Well, see, this is what we're saying. A lot of times we'll say that's what it is. Remember, I'm 60. I've been through it. So I called it the fourth quarter, you know. But a lot of guys, they're grabbing hold of that and saying, yeah, that's why I'm going, because it makes a lot of sense to them. But a lot of them are going through a midlife crisis, man. People are quitting their jobs. They're selling everything to come over here, 8,000 miles away to a place they know nothing about, to be with this younger woman, you're saying, and a better life. Okay, because remember, you're the problem in the midlife crisis. It doesn't matter where you go, you're going to do the same sort of behavior. It's just going to repeat itself in the Philippines. That's what happened to me. You know, yeah, he says 11 trips. Excuse me, it's 8 trips over the course of 11 months. That's a lot. 8 round trips. You got to understand, guys, I was crazy when I look back on it. Okay, let's see, it would have been my 4th trip to the Philippines. You know, I couldn't find a ticket online. So I went to the airport, went to the Delta ticket desk and paid almost 4,000 US dollars. I'm talking about in cash for a round trip ticket in just the regular seats. What do you call them seats? These are regular seats. It wasn't first class. I paid that amount of money. It was in December, though, you know, because in December, back in them days, it's when a lot of Filipinos are coming home from all over the world. And I guess it would cost you that much now, you know, because the seats fill up, the planes are filling up. I paid $3,980 for just a regular seat to come over here. And I didn't think nothing about it. I was sick, man. So I share this stuff with guys. Yeah, he said all religions are man-made. Yeah, they are. Yeah. Well, good. You know, I've raised my kids too. Like I said, my oldest daughter's 28. When I really checked out, she was 23. I mean, you know, pat yourself on the back. I mean, but even the most perfect parents, there's no such thing as a perfect parent. My mother was probably the best parent that I've ever seen. It didn't stop me from effing up. Okay, because at some point you got to let them go. You can't smother them. There you go, have a nice day. You know, by the way, we give you all the credit that you deserve, because a lot of men don't get that credit. But we're not here to compete against each other. We're here to try to help one another. You know, I don't know how old you are. I don't know, you know, if your son's 22 or how old are you? You know, like I said, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. Happy Man 6920 says, diversity says, I'm in the same boat. Feel that I should be farther in life. This is musical diversity, by the way. I should be farther in life, but realistically, I'm in a great way of living retirement. Yeah, see, your mind will start playing tricks on you. And you'll think, well, this woman that I've got sleeping beside me, she's not good enough. I need somebody younger. I need somebody better looking. And you'll walk away and you'll think it's okay. Oh, this nice Ford truck I've got, it's not big. I need a convertible now because I'm trying to hold on to the good old days. I don't want them to ever leave. D. Style says, hey, I have a technical what if question, Cal. He says, if you were offered another job, insurance job for a year, that would guarantee you another $2,000 a month, would you take it only for 8 months? Absolutely not. I'm through with working. Absolutely not. That would trigger me on another damn run, probably. No, I don't want anything to do with that matrix. I'm going to live my life on my own terms. I did that for 16 consecutive years. And it's stressful, among other things, because I wasn't working on a salary. I was working on commission, which is great, really. But on one hand, if you don't get it done, see, you're not going to get anything in return. Luckily, I had the FMO contract where I was getting 50% of whatever the people under me did. So I didn't have to sell a policy. Okay, all I had to do was to continue to recruit and train new agents to duplicate myself over and over and over. See, because out of those 20 agents I had, maybe 5 of them really were giving me my salary. The other ones really, they weren't doing a whole lot. So you have to keep on doing that, but I wasn't doing it. I stopped. I was over here. Whenever we had an FMO meeting, and that means a field marketing organization, I was the only one at the table who was not a millionaire. You had people sitting next to me who had 3,000 agents, 1,500 agents, because my contract had no stipulation. I could just keep recruiting. Wherever this plan was available, whatever state, I could go there and recruit agents, put them up underneath me. But I didn't do it. I wasn't in the mindset to do it. I blew a golden opportunity, the opportunity that I prayed every damn day for. And then it was presented to me, and I was only able to really enjoy it for 2 years. I blew it. I flushed it down the toilet. That's why I'm serious when I talk about this stuff. I'm not even trying to compete against anybody. I hope you don't go through what I did. I was with my wife for 16 years. And we went through some things that any couple 16 years, but that's a big investment of time. We had 4 children. We had a house. We had a daycare business. We had everything. I walked away from it and left her there to deal with it on her own, which she couldn't do it. So if you think it's a game, if you haven't went through it yet and you clap and say, oh yeah, I haven't done it yet, well, thank your lucky stars, because it's nothing to play with, man. It's really a hell of a thing to have to go through. That's why I'm discussing it. But some people handle it, some people don't, I know Michael Beecher Life said something about coping skills. Oh, well, we all think we got coping skills. See, when you're going through something, you can't see it. Everybody wants to be the strong man until you're not the strong man. It's okay to be normal. He says, there you go, have a nice day. He says, hey, Calvin, I'm 63, retiring in 3 months, headed your way soon. Would love to sit down and talk to you. My son is a recovering addict. I picked him up from from the emergency room 10 times in the last 5 years. Yeah, see, that's got to be a terrible experience. And see, that's something that will flip you, that would trigger you into something like that. But you're 63, so if you went through anything, and and some of us, it's just more extreme than others. But if you think back, you've done some crazy stuff. He said, my son is finally on his own and his mind is in a good place. Yeah, it's just one day at a time. And this is what a lot of addicts and alcoholics, we don't understand. We're always looking so far ahead. You're like, man, I can't stay sober for the rest of my life. But they'll tell you, you don't have to stay sober for the rest of your life. Just stay sober for today, for the next hour or whatever it is. And, one of the best ways to stay sober, they say, you got to give it away to keep it, is to help somebody else stay sober. Because now you're worrying about them. Your mind is off your problems and what you're going through because you're helping somebody else. And then, of course, the meetings, which is the group therapy that they borrowed from the cancer patients. It all works, man. I'm telling you. But that's one thing that addicts and alcoholics miss. We don't want to help anybody else. It's all about us. Because selfishness and self-centeredness, we think, is the root of our disease. Okay, so even when you get sober, you're fighting against that. So I would tell your son, look, start getting out helping other people who are suffering like him, sponsoring people. Gary says, I had an insurance agent. I was an insurance agent. Oh, I had an insurance agent for 17 years. He was fired from the company because he did not meet a quota, he said. Yeah, see, I'm not going back to that. But I was an independent, but it didn't matter. You still had a quota because you had to pay the bills. Ripley 7T says, I'm 59, selling everything, 50-50, wife for 32 years, decided to live a life of bondage and sadomasochism. At 55 anyway, we retired December 24th and moving to Cebu City 2025, then on to Cagayan de Oro. What else is going on with that right there? Is it a young woman involved? Have you been dealing with young women in your affairs? Because it's a lot more going on besides fancy cars and affairs and young women and new families. It's a lot of depression in there that we miss. But here's some things that I wrote down that I wanted to talk about, but I didn't. And maybe this, I'm just going to read these because maybe this will ring a bell for somebody. Feeling sad, feeling bored. You have a loss of your life's purpose or meaning in life. You're longing for the good old days. You're feeling unfulfilled, making impulsive actions, feelings of regret. You're restless, irritable, desire for younger women, a whole new wardrobe, a new car. You walked away from $1 million business, or, in your case, you quit your job or whatever it was, a divorce, it's just some things that I was getting online about the midlife crisis, because it's a whole lot about this thing. I was just trying to pull out some stuff that kind of fit my story. See, that guy, Elliot Jock, he coined the phrase because one of his clients, he was a psychoanalyst in 1965. One of his clients came in and was going through some stuff. And then by treating him, he noticed that he was going through it. And then he's the one that wrote down this stuff. He said, declining happiness and life satisfaction, aimlessness or loss of life purpose, self-doubt, frustration with changing life roles and responsibilities, boredom and dissatisfaction with your relationship, career, or life in general, concerns about your appearance, thoughts about death, the meaning of life, changes in your energy levels, you're restless, you're fatigued, mood changes in sexual desire, which for me, my sexual desire went up because something just told me I deserved better. I was tired of the missionary position, and that was it. That was the best. That was all I was getting. And I knew my wife loved me and everything like that. But, at some point, I just said, I'm tired of this. I want something better. I want a freaky relationship instead of just regular sexual relationship I was having. It got boring. That's what he said. You get bored. Carlos W. says, if you could do it all over again, what would you do? I couldn't do anything else. I just wish that there was somebody there who would have yanked me, and said, hey, man, I've been through what you're going through right now, to kind of talk to me and talk me through it, to kind of turn the light on, because the light had went off. But when you're surrounded around these manly men all your whole damn life who don't have any problems, who's sitting up there pretending that everything's okay and they're on top of shit and they're running every damn thing, okay, you can't get that kind of help. That's why I don't like to be around people like that, man. We all dealing with something. But when you're around people like that, there's no hope for you. They're gonna watch you sink and come off with all that rhetoric. Oh, just be a man, stand up on your own 2 feet, you suck it up. Men don't cry, bullshit. Meanwhile, you're dying. You're slowly dying inside. Yeah, there's nothing you can do, man. I just wish I would not have destroyed my life at 45 the way that I did. I mean, I destroyed it, man. And it's like setting a match to my whole life and just sitting there and watch it burn. And there was nobody there to help me put out the fire. So yeah, it's hard, man, when you go through something like that. That's why I'm talking about it, because I'm not the only one. But maybe, now if I see somebody now really who I think I won't offend, to say something about it. But if you say something like that to these guys who come over here, they're in their 40s. You can see it clearly. They're in their 40s and 50s. Man, you would offend them. They would never watch my videos again. That I would lose friends. And, I guess it's probably better to lose a friend than have somebody really to lose their life, because I lost my life. He says, I'm 44 today. I'm going through it now. And that's the thing. The thing is to talk about, to tell somebody, hey, man, I'm not feeling good. I'm thinking about quitting my job. I want a divorce. I'm thinking about trading in this car that I paid for. It's paid for. I don't have, any car note, and getting that nice looking convertible over there. See, that's what's going to help you. See, I didn't talk to nobody. Moments when Mitch says, I'm losing my purpose and going through it, but my help is keeping me from acting out. Yeah, see, we have to talk about it. That's how you get through it. That's how you get the help you need, because if you just be quiet and then just go along, just go on and continue with that destructive behavior, man, it's just crazy, man. Connor Leary, He says, I had a midlife crisis when I was 27. I fled Europe, moved in with a Thai girl for 4 months, and then ran home with my tail between my legs. See, some people go into it earlier. He says lots of people are quitting their jobs here in the States. They are doing van life, living in a vehicle and traveling. Yeah, but you know, eventually, get out of here. There has to be some dissatisfaction. I mean, are you bored when you shouldn't be? Are you dissatisfied when you shouldn't be? When the rest of the world is looking at you like, well, hell, you got everything, man. You on top of the world. See, that's when you should be concerned. Just look, you know, you're looking around, but it's hard because remember, it's your mind. It's playing tricks on you. I had a 3,700 square foot home, man. My wife loved me. She would have did anything for me. She had no enemies. We had everything. She had a successful daycare business. All I had to do was go out and recruit guys. I used to have an office in my house. It was connected to my house. And, you know, about once or twice a week, I would bring people in and we would train them and different things like that. That's all I had to do. I mean, really, I had a good life, man. And I messed it up. He says, I've been in an MF crisis for 40 years. I know. You know, you preach it to the choir. Ripley 7T said, that's what I told a close friend. Men don't talk about it many times. We all have tragedy and loss and are so hesitant to share it. Well, because we grow up in this society of tough guys. This is what a man is supposed to be. It's a screwed up definition of a man. So everybody you see is talking tough. Turn on the damn, look at Andrew Tate now. Andrew Tate, Kevin Samuels, you know, let him rest in peace. But all these athletes, look all on YouTube and social media. Everybody's talking tough. But they're not running nothing. Didn't they just let Andrew Tate out of jail? They can come and get him and put him in jail again anytime he wants. He's not in control of his own life. But we put on this facade of strength, man. This is what's gonna be the end of us right there. It's okay to stand up and protect what's yours and all that, but let's be real about it. You struggling with something. As long as you don't talk about it, you're gonna continue to struggle. Coping skills, Michael Beecher Life said, yeah. Okay. Hey, the Global Vagabond said, hello, everybody. Books are your best, most consistent mentors. You will find that your heroes have gone through crisis after crisis. Reading has saved me more times than I can count. This is true. This is the reason why I read the books that I read. Like, you know, I can't read fantasy and all that. I have to read either self-help genres, which are full of stories like what he's talking about, or biographies, where, you know, you really get to see where people come from and how they got to where they did. And it was a lot of turmoil, it was a lot of crises that they had to overcome. They didn't just all of a sudden wake up and there they were. Hey, what time is it, Travels? Thanks for that super chat. He said, great topic, Cal. Thank you. Hollywood Baby says, I went for counseling and it helped me tremendously. See, he was smart enough to do that. Maybe his wife said, hey, you know, somebody steered you toward counseling. But remember though, he's a fireman, so he's built different anyway, but he sought help like that. See, remember, if you do that where I come from, you weak. You know, you better not go see a psychiatrist or something like that. You won't ever live that down. You know, mental health is so looked down upon in my community where I grew up. Has he gotten better? No, I doubt it. People are afraid. He said, I passed my midlife crisis and went directly in my last of life crisis. Yeah, see, that's the same thing, really. You know the end is approaching. So how you handle it? If you don't think about that, you're lying. You do think about it. Tosa said, great laugh, Cal. He said, men will repress emotional crises because of stigma. Strength is in the discussion, not the repression. Yeah, we need to, let's I don't know, man, I tell you. Yeah, because he personifies that old myth of what a man is. He's going to die, believe it or not. I mean, you know, it's okay to live life on your own terms, you know, but he's larger than life, and nobody's larger than life. See? Nobody's larger than life. I'm sorry, you know. But yeah, you try to go into counseling in my neighborhood, man. You'll never live that one down. He said, no crying in baseball. Well, you know, if you cry, it better be at your mother's funeral, one of your children's funeral. It better be, you know, something like that. It better not be because you're having a bad day, something like that. You know, you got your feelings hurt. You know, it's emotions. That's what they're called. But we repress them, and they build up, and the cemeteries and penitentiaries are full of young black men, period, because we haven't learned to let that go. So then somebody does something stupid to us, and we blow their damn brains out. TJ Johnson says, pity we didn't get a panel today, but good recovery topic wise. I'll have to catch the rest later. Got to break up the morning with some shut eye. Yeah, man, I know you're on that. You're still on American time anyway, right? As far as your job and everything. He said, Calvin, all large companies now offer 5 or 6 free counseling sessions. It's being more accepted in society. Well, even back then, you know, we had that, I forgot what they call it, as part of your insurance plan. But it, you know, you have to think that you need it, though. There you go. Have a nice day. They can offer it all they want. If you're in denial, look at all the rehab centers we have over in America. And people are steadily dying of crack and drinking themselves to death, opioids, fentanyl. But we've got some of the best recovery centers in all the world, really. You go to Louisville, Kentucky, there's no shortage of them. There's no shortage of homeless shelters where you can get food. They'll help you get a job, clothing, an apartment. But people still sleep on the street. You know, you got to accept that you need it. He says, I escaped the cemetery and the penitentiary to get here. No bullshit. This past summer, I came close to both of them. Illinois. Yeah, it's full. It's full. My brother was killed. He was 26 years old, man. He's arguing with the 16-year-old. With the 16-year-old, I'm so angry. You got to understand, his mother was killed in front of him. And, you know, he's just so angry. He didn't know how to handle. He didn't know how. He didn't have nobody to talk to. He didn't have anybody to let all that go. So when him and my brother came, you know, face to face, he's, you know, what, that's all he knew was to do is pull out a 22, shoot my brother in the chest and kill him. But maybe 6 months later, not a year later, because he got 6 months. Back then, they wasn't charging children as adults. He was killed. But I'm saying the penitentiaries and the cemeteries are full of us, man, because we don't know how to release all that. And this is a fact. He says people who have such crises are more interesting people, in my opinion. Men are made through such trials. They are, you know, hard times build character, but there's a difference between hard times and a mental crisis. You know, you got to learn to cry, man. It's okay to cry. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to fail. You know, to get up and dust yourself off and try it again. You know, all this tough guy stuff, man. You know, I'm sick of it, really. I can't even look at YouTube, man. It's all full of these ex-athletes, all these tough guys on here, and they're black. And I'm like, well, if we so damn tough, why aren't we running any damn thing? Why aren't we in control of any damn thing? Since y'all so damn tough, this is what, you know, I see the hypocrisy. And I'm like, man, come on, guys, you know. And then we just giving that to the next generation and keep going on and on and on. And there's no progress. We've made no progress at all. He said, is that Geechee? No, that's not Geechee saying killer noise. He was on here, but he's got so much feedback. I don't know what he was doing. I guess he was trying to record, and I guess he was trying to make a video and be on the panel. He was doing all kind of stuff because he had the worst audio that I've ever heard since I've been on YouTube. I wanted him on here because I wanted him to kind of give an update of what he's been doing since he's been here. He's been here 2 months now. He just left the volunteer place down in Tacloban. He got out of there just in time, by the way, because there's a typhoon burning down on this region. They say it's due to hit somewhere between Thursday and Saturday, because he's in Tacloban. If you're in Tacloban right now, or you headed to Tacloban, you better know what you're doing. You better watch that weather. That is typhoon central. Okay. They're rebuilding a school down there that was destroyed by a typhoon. But I just want to give him an update because now I believe he's in Davao. He's down there with Patrick. They could hook up. Yeah, Gerald Wilkins says the U.S. America, more stuff. Wash, rinse, repeat. Many are now seeking to satisfy their soul. Yeah, and then if you even go to church, the preacher's tough. He's tough because he's got this invisible God behind him and he's talking tough. You know, it's like, where can I go, man, when I'm really feeling down? He says, when does anyone see their own flaws while running their mouth? Well, that's the point. We can all see it. See, we're all at fault. Not just the one who's running their mouth, but we're watching these guys. And like I said, I'm sitting back and I'm looking at all this. And I'm saying, these guys are so tough. They talk so tough, but they're not running anything. They're not in control of anything. If you're so tough, you know, you don't even have control of your own life. You know, why are you continuing to allow this mistreatment that you've been put under for all these years? We're still dealing with it. It's like, if we can't beat them, join them. And this is why black women are mad at us, because they hold us responsible. They're saying we should be doing more since we're so tough. You know, fight the man who's got his foot on your damn neck. This is what I say to guys. You know, don't come to me with all that tough guy stuff. Because you're not tough for real. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I didn't know. Oh, okay. I didn't know. Oh, yeah. He's Anwar Kinte. I'm sorry. Well, I think he's near there. He's somewhere near there. And I don't know what his problem was. He just does not like me all of a sudden. And I'm like, dude, you know, I don't get it. It's like I'm 8,000 miles away. Well, I don't want to fight you, of all people. You know, but he's determined. I had to block him off my channel, man. He was on any video that I made. He's all in the comments talking crazy. And I'm like, you know, I messaged him to the side, like, look, man, don't do that to my channel, man. I would never do your channel like that. I mean, if you don't agree with something I'm saying, just keep scrolling. But we're part of a YouTube community, man. You know, you don't need that. We don't need to be doing that. You know, but when the he has a problem with me and what I say. But when the Filipino woman down there called him a monkey, he'd have a problem. But I'm just saying that he's making videos, you know, talking clandestinely about me. I'm like, come on, man. You know, y'all need to quit with that. Captain Trucker says it's just an ego thing and a false sense of pride, that whole tough guy thing. It is. That's what that doctor said. He said that's man's biggest weakness, is this facade of strength that we portray. That, you know, we run in everything and everything's under control. We don't have any problems. You know, I got this. I'm handling my business, but it's really not. We know that. He said, well, yeah, that's a big surprise. Well, it was a big surprise to me. But every video I made, he's in there. Oh, I don't care about that. But I mean, the comments he was making, I'm like, man, don't cause trouble on my channel, man. You got your own channel. Why would I do that to you? I could care less. You know, I could care less. You know, it doesn't make sense, you know, because I've had them both on my I've had them both on my channel, both on my panel, you know, because we're a community. There's enough haters on the outside. We don't need to be fighting on the inside. See, when they go through what I've been through, then they'll be running for cover. Hey, what's up, Mo? He said, good morning, brother Calvin. I plan to spend my final quarter in the Philippines. Lots of preparations. Life will happen. Can't prepare for that. No matter where we choose to live. That's right. I live my life one day at a time. What's that old saying? You know, plan as if you're going to live forever. You know, live as if you're going to die, you know, tomorrow, whatever it is. And I just handle it as it comes to me. You know, I found myself saying this, Mo, a lot. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, because people are talking just the craziest stuff about China invading the Philippines. I'm not worried about that. I'm just not worried about that. I don't lose any sleep at night worrying about China invading the Philippines. He said, what's the one thing I didn't prepare for? Well, honestly, man, I didn't prepare for the heat. It gets so hot here. I mean, it really gets hot. I mean, it's burning hot. I can't speak for anybody else but myself. Just the other day, I'm going to the store. I'm going across this field. And I mean, it's burning through me, man. I can't wait to get into the tricycle. I'm thinking I'm going to get a break. And I'll be damn, this part of me that's sticking outside the tricycle, it's burning. I mean, it's burning hot. That's one thing I didn't prepare for. The brownouts, I did not prepare for. I had no idea they were waiting over here. And you never get used to that. And that's a fact. You never get used to that. Okay. even if it's just one day every 6 months. It happened, what day was that? Saturday. It was 4 a.m. in the morning to 6 p.m. at night. I mean, it's misery, man, because, you know, there's nothing. You're so used to, you know, to having that electricity. I mean, I went to plug in my phone to charge it. It just, you know, I'm talking about, I've been here on and off for almost 15 years. You just never get used to that. I never prepared for that. The heat, you know, a lot of those are two big things. Happy Man 6920 said, yeah, I noticed that in his video, Shan, that he was talking about you. And I couldn't believe it. Yeah, and I'm like, well, why? You know, why is that? You know, I promise you, it's so much junk and so much stuff I don't agree with on Facebook, social media, YouTube. But I just keep going. I've got that much discipline that I don't have to sit there and, you know, and fight somebody on what they're talking about. Yeah. Now, Mo, have you ever thought about whether or not you were in a midlife crisis or anything? Have you ever went through that? Has that ever occurred to you? Let's see. He said, what's up, Cal?
Drink already.
Who?
I mean, you again.
He says, hello from Houston. It's a lot of people from Houston. Frank Ellis said, that's my biggest fear in returning to the Philippines, Cal, staying away from bad weather. The Val, they say, is pretty safe from typhoons. It is. Now, the Val, that area has a lot of earthquakes. And, man, they'd be up there. I thought like a 6 and 7 was pretty damn bad. But all of the Philippines isn't affected by typhoons. You have mostly the central Luzon area like Bicol. Then you have that eastern Visayas region, Tacloban, Leyte, Samar. And then everywhere, that's where they hit you, really. Anywhere else, you know, it's going to be a freak. You're going to get the, you know, the effects of it, the heavy wind and rain, but you're not going to get hit. You're not going to get in the eye of it. The Typhoon Odette that they had here in December 2021 was the first one that they've had around this area in, what, 30 years or something. Marilyn said she couldn't, she's 41. She said she could never remember, you know, going through a typhoon, and you will remember that. I'll never forget that. He said China won't invade. The USA has 2 carriers ready to defend. That won't be the reason why they won't invade. They won't invade because China's not warmongers like the US and a lot of our allies. China hasn't been to war since with its neighbors, hell, since the early 70s. I think they had a trouble with Vietnam. Hell, it was back during the damn Vietnam War days. W Secrets of Success is Cal. You know, Gerard Black in the Philippines in St. Carlos now. You guys meeting up? No, I'm not going to meet up with him. I think he's gone back. I was under the weather anyway. He messaged me, and I was just kind of shocked about that. I'm like, why would you guys make videos about me? Didn't think I'm going to meet up with you. Make that make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. Even if your intentions are good, listen, guys, when you put that kind of stuff out there, you're just feeding the trolls, you know. And I can't respect people when they do that. I mean, you don't need likes that much. Talk about your damn life if you want some views. You don't need views that much. I've never made a video about anyone in 3 years. I've got over 1,500 videos. Go through my videos. You will never see them about anybody else but me. The Global Vagabond says, live as if you're going to die tomorrow. Learn like you will live forever. Oh, okay, Gandhi. You know, Shakespeare has one of the most famous quotes where he says, what little we know about life, about death, life should be a paradise. That's what I live by, really. We don't know what's on that other side, but we live like we're going to, be here for 1,000 years. Procrastination. I got on Maryland today, we are tricycle to take the kids, back and forth to school. So because she can't do it, we only give him like 650 pesos for the whole week, right? And I asked her today because he didn't show up today. I was like, well, where is he? I said, did you pay him? No, she didn't pay him. And I'm like, well, why? It's no big deal. I said, yeah, it's a big deal. That's why he's not here. Pay the man, He said, how long did it take you to kind of acclimate to the heat? Did it get a little bit better after a while? Well, you just avoid it, really. You know when to come out, when not. You know not to stay out there long. I go from point A to point B. I don't fool around because right now it's as hot as it's ever been in the Philippines. I don't know if it's El Nino or whatever it is. But it's like, I don't know if anybody's ever played football and you're on the sidelines and you got that heater blowing at you. I promise you, man, it's what the sun felt like on me the other day, walking across that field through my clothes. It's that hot. And people say, oh, it's not that hot. Houston, I'm in Miami. I'm sorry, guys. It's hot over here. And you don't prepare for it. But you do learn how to deal with it. I learned when to go out, when not to. But this is the hottest it's ever been since I've been in the Philippines. I've never felt it this hot. When you're in a tricycle using, you're feeling the breeze coming back. Man, it doesn't do nothing. That sun is cooking me on this side of my body. Feel like like I can't even feel this side of my body. That's how hot it is. And you're thinking, man, you're crazy. He said, you need a car. Well, if I get a car, Mike, I might as well get a casket at the same time. What's up, Retired 2019? He says, hey, Cal, I don't even discuss it on my channel a lot, but in the news, there's a lot of accidents on that road, man. Maybe in Bahal, where Michael Beach of Life is, and a lot of you have probably went down that same road who's ever been on one of them tours where you go to the Chocolate Hills and you go see the Tarsurs, and well, the damn driver of the van went to sleep and he killed three or four of the tourists, and then he's in critical condition and 2 or 3 other tourists are in critical condition. Because, you just don't know how long these bus drivers, van drivers, jeepney drivers, you don't know their hours. You don't know how long they've been on the road, and they go to sleep a lot. Now, Barry Carey, he says it does take time to adjust to the attention you receive from women in a developing country. It does. We don't prepare for that. You're right. We don't prepare for that. But really the attention from the people, not just the women, but the people, period. Because when I first got here, I was so uncomfortable. It was like I wanted to shrink and, crawl out the door. Because the staring was just so intense. They stare till you put your food all the way into the fork goes into your mouth. And it's just uncomfortable. It takes a long time to deal with that. But a guy gave me I don't know, I think it was Kurt. He's here now in Davao. The very first foreigner I ever met, I believe he gave me this. He said, Calvin, when they start staring at you, he said, look down at their feet. Now, I don't know why he said that, but that works. He said they'll stop staring. I don't know if they're, if they have some type of concern about their shoes, if they're, aware of whatever it is, it works. I believe he's the one told me that. Somebody did. He said when they start staring, look down at their feet. He said the San Carlos pretty safe. It is, especially for, for foreigners. There's 2 crime rates, one for locals, one for foreigners. One of Maryland's closest friends was just killed here, but she was into drugs and stuff. So, the funeral was over and everything. Nobody really knows what happened, but, she was into drugs, and in that drug scene, we had just saw her because I thought she was somebody else. And Maryland was like, no, that's such and such. And the very next day, she was dead. But for all intents and purposes, yes, really, really safe here now. They've got good, in San Carlos City, they've got, this city is about as well managed as any city I've ever been in the Philippines. Does it have to do with their size? I don't know. It's just well managed. And when you come here, you'll see it. You'll say like, well, I mean, they got a tennis club. Okay, imagine they just renovated it with clay courts here. You can go there and play for, I believe, 60 pesos. Man, they got so much wide open space. It's clean as a whistle. And it's, it's just like a little hub place, really. It doesn't have its own tourist attractions. It does, but it doesn't. But it's close enough. So, yeah, it's really safe, in my opinion. Musical diversity says most men are strong for whatever reason until we are not. We have all these machismo outlets when we are strong. We also need to find the right outlets when we're not strong. That's perfect. Because you can't be strong all the time. And with these guys, we're on 24/7. And it's just not true. It's just not true. And this is that persona we put on, man. This causes us problems because you say, hey, if we're that tough, if we're that damn strong, if we're this, we're that, then why are we in the position we're in? It never makes sense to me. Yeah, I don't lose sleep over China because they're not gonna invade, man. They've got a relationship with the Philippines that goes way back, thousands of years, really. Some of the richest Filipinos are half Chinese, half Filipino. They have a different relationship with the Philippines than America does. They never colonized the Philippines. Filipinos don't speak Chinese. They speak American. I mean, they speak English, a version of English, but they certainly don't speak Chinese. Retard 2019 said, Cal don't socialize with haters. Yeah, it just kind of shocked me. I thought he was okay, but, I was wrong again. I've been wrong a lot, and I can say I'm wrong. He says, I have to check out General Santos. I heard only good things. And that's because it's true. But remember, they scare you from Mindanao. They tell you that it's so dangerous and this and that. Well, just my humble opinion, the people there are just so nice, man. I don't care where you go down there. General Santos is all that. But to me, most places that I go in the Philippines, it just seems the same to me. And that's what I was telling Geechee Land, because I was like, you don't need 30 days, because I'm like, well, why are you doing 30 days here, 30 days there? I said, you don't need 30 days in any place in the Philippines to figure it out, because most of the places that you go to here, they're basically all the same to me. They just seem the same to me. And what you're going to find in one place, you're going to find in the other. Mostly, good people and like that. It's just not much difference. So I wouldn't need 30 days to scout out the vow. I would need a week maybe. Same with Cebu, same with Manila. I wouldn't need 30 days. Philip Kent says, Cal, you have to make short form content more monetizable. Yeah, but you know, you're still dealing with that damn algorithm. You know, a lot of people make these short videos and the short form, and then, but nobody sees it because it's up to the algorithm to get it out there. You know, the only reason you see Andrew Tate on the YouTube is because it's not his channel, it's other channels that's promoting him and putting him out there, because YouTube got rid of his channel. YouTube has a lot of power, man, over who sees you, how long they see you, how many people see you, where they see you. Because somebody told me the opposite. They said you need to make long form. He said climate change. Is that the reason why it's so hot? Man, I'm going to tell you something. It's hot here, man. It's hot right now. It's as hot as it's ever been here. I've never felt it as hot here as it is here now. I'm just telling you. If I go out there right now, it's 11:21. Okay, it's going to burn me. Because I've got to go to the store today, get some bread and a few little things, and it's going to be gruesome walking from here to the road to catch a tricycle, I mean. Nathaniel Drug Free says, do they have American restaurants there? Well, in the Philippines they do, but not in St. Carlos City. But they've got a couple of restaurants here that have good food. But if you go to any of the urban places, you know, Cebu, Manila, I'm thinking Davao, certainly Boracay and all those places, they're going to have American restaurants. Now, is it a case of them trying to make American dishes with Filipino food, which is what Filipino ingredients, I mean, is what they're doing in America? Like when I took my wife to America, she's trying to make Filipino dishes with American ingredients. You know, it's close, but it's no cigar. But if you go to some place like TGI Friday, it's pretty good. You know, it's pretty close to what it is in America. Alex Perez says, I definitely went through a midlife crisis at 32 and now again at 42. It's all good. I'm going to shake it off. Yeah, see, here's the thing, because I believe I went through it twice too. That's why when I said I went through it from 2008 to 2015 or something like that, it's because I never got any help for it. I just rode the roller coaster until I, you know, to freedom or whatever it was, till I was safe. Big Dog said, Cal, have you ever thought of buying a car? Just here recently. You know, but the thing about it is I'm not going to drive, so it's all contingent on whether or not Marilyn is going to, you know, she's got her license. See, that's how things work here. She went to get her motorcycle license, and hell, she knew people in the play, in the LTO, they gave her a driver's license. But I don't think she can drive, not well enough for me to ride with her yet. So I want to send her for some driving lessons. Before, you know, we'll think about that. And then it's not going to be, I wouldn't, you know, it's not going to be something expensive, you know. But, you know, cars over here are expensive. You know, I would be so reluctant to buy a used car. But there was a guy who came here to the last meet and greet I had here in St. Carlos City. He lives in Darwin. He drove here with his car. And he had a nice little car. And he bought it secondhand. And it made me think like, he got a nice car. You know, I think he said he paid $6,000 for it. because that would be my limit. I wouldn't pay any more than that. About 300,000. See, I was this close to buying John's car, but she sold it. Yeah, I was really close. AK says, what you said about time or stay is right. I'd rather spend some of the time elsewhere. Yeah, you didn't know, and you had a what do you call it? A travel agent who basically was helping you along. But yeah, you don't need 30 days there. But Davow's a nice place. You can enjoy yourself in Davao. Now, I'm almost done. Why? Get out of here. The problem with renting that place for 30 days is you've got Samal Island there that you could go to. Hell, you could spend a few nights there, but now you're double dipping. You're paying for the hotel that you've already reserved and the place on Samal Island. It's a lot to do there. People's Park, you can go up in the Mount Apple, go see those, that Philippine eagle, man. Now that is Geechee Line. He is Geechee Line. Yeah, Uber a taxi for me. See, they don't have that in St. Carlos City, but yeah, you're right. In the bigger cities, it would be Grab or a taxi. But that stuff adds up, man. I'm gonna tell you, it's just like me and I think it was AB we were talking, but somebody, no, it was one the guy that came and stayed here, and we were talking about, renting versus buying, and I said, well, nobody plans on staying here long. But then you'll look up and you'll be here for 5 years, and look at all that rent money you put out. And it's the same thing with Grab or a taxi. You say, man, I'm not going to buy a car. And then you look up, you be here for 2 or 3 years, and you done paid for a car. Because whenever I'm in Cebu, I don't know why, I usually spend about almost 1,000 pesos a day on Grab and taxis. Because, okay, you'll go to, say, Ayala Mall, you do whatever you're going to do there. You either come back or you go somewhere else. Then you got to go back home. Roger Farmer says, I'm a Mustang fanatic. I wouldn't go anywhere I couldn't drive my Mustang. When you go into these big cities, a small place like St. Carlos City is a great place to have a car. You're not going to get stuck in traffic. Now, you go to Manila and Cebu, where the traffic has gotten so bad. It's like, why would you want to spend all that money on a car and you're going to get bogged down all the time? But more and more foreigners, man, they're coming over here buying just some fantastic looking car. Cornelius Mack has a beautiful SUV. It looks like he's got living room furniture in his damn car. I mean, it's really nice. Then the guy Colby Stewart, he came over here. He's got some kind of Ford, man. It's funky, man. It's really nice looking. I just don't have it. Those guys got money, though. I don't have that kind of money, man, to be spending $1.5 million for a car over here. Booby's crazy, man. Booby's gotten so old so quick. He says, I'm going to Siquijor next week for my first trip to the Philippines, possibly retire. Man, you're going to love it there. Now, you flying into Cebu, then come into Siquijor or Dumaguete. Now, when you go to Siquijor, that's for people who are really ready to retire. You either go there for a vacation or to retire. Okay? It's a great vacation spot, but if you're going to retire, you better be retired. because that's a retirement spot, man. And what I mean by that, it's not a whole lot to do. I mean, it is, but I mean, it's just slow, it's quiet. It's not like Cebu or anything like that. Everything usually happens at night on Sikihor. Hey, Alex Perez, thanks for that super sticker. He said, what up, Geechee Lion? Yeah, Geechee Lion came over here and did something. He kind of set a standard, really. He's the first one that I've ever met that came over here and volunteered for a project. He was probably the oldest one on there too, because the videos he's showing, those are younger people. Alan Fish says, I'd imagine having a car in the Philippines is a major status symbol. It is. Well, not really. It wouldn't be. You like to walk, right? Geechee Line. And remember, 72 kilometers around. It's a lot to see. But I mean, you know, when you're talking about a lot of people, they think they're ready to retire, but they're really not. They're going to rejuvenate when they get over here, and they're going to get antsy, and they're going to be looking for stuff to do. And you can explore and all that on Sikihor Island, but you know, there's no malls, you can't go to the movie. You have to go to Dumaguete for all that. Yeah, he says, I've been driving over there too. It's too dangerous. Yeah. Okay, Manila to Dumaguete. Yeah, it's too dangerous for me too. I couldn't. K-Bub says, we're in Houston and JP Morgan and other groups are trying to buy up all the houses so they can keep the majority of the population renting. Okay, let's see. McNello says, I'm living in Makati. Plenty of guys here in Makati and BGC who drive Lamborghinis and Porsches. Yeah, not sure why though. Yeah, the traffic's so crazy. I would be very worried about it getting damaged. Yeah, I say that all the time. Whenever I'm in Cebu, we saw, I want to say, I mean, this had to be the top of the line Mercedes. Because it's rich people here. I mean, Filipinos, Chinese, you know. I mean, it's just some wealthy people in the top echelon in the world here in the Philippines. And I was like, there's no way I would drive that car here. I mean, and somebody scrape it with one of these damn motorcycles or something and probably don't have 50 pesos worth of insurance. Yeah, so you're right there with me. Mike Dorsonville said, buying a car was my first big investment in the Philippines 4 years ago. At the end of the day, I'm glad I did. Who drives it now, Mike, when you're not here? Because I got a friend, Rock Harmon, here. He got a beautiful truck. I don't know if anybody drives it while they're not here. You know, that would be the thing. You know, somebody have to go out there and start it up, right? He said a hospital is close by where you are in case of emergency. Yeah, we have a regional hospital here. Now, if I had cancer, had a heart attack, in a serious car accident or something, they would prep me and get me out of here, either to Cebu or Bukhalit. But for, you know, general checkup, you know, for anything else, it's not a major injury or illness. They got 2 good hospitals here in St. Carlos City. He says, I don't know if you like donuts, Cal, but if you do, if we ever are able to meet in person when I'm in the field, You got a Krispy Kreme sour cream donut on me. Thanks for the knowledge. Yeah, they love Krispy Kreme here. I don't eat donuts as much as I used to because they don't sell the jelly donuts like I'm used to eating them. I don't like all that dusted sugar on top, and you get all that white stuff around, and your hands is all. It's not the same jelly donuts I'm used to at the Krispy Kreme in America, because there was a Krispy Kreme right around the corner from where we live. Matter of fact, when I took my wife to America, that was her first real job. Before she got hired at General Electric, she was working at Krispy Kreme. And she couldn't believe it. She was happy to work in that place. Yeah, but they do. I mean, these stars here, they got Willie Revillame, and he's got a collection of cars. And I think he just drives them around his little neighborhood. Yeah, I don't know if you want to drive that out in that Manila traffic. I wouldn't. But he's got Rolls Royces. He's got everything. Yeah, he says a weekend sick or another in Dumagetti. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. They're sweet now. But a lot of people they shook off Dumagetti for some reason, and that's because you got a few bloggers fighting over there. As a matter of fact, they've got, if you're around Dumagetti, there's a meet and greet on Wednesday, December the 15th. I didn't catch. Somebody sent me the link. Dan Dixon sent me the link. It's November the 15th. It's one of those places down there, and you go there and make a liar out of me. When you meet those guys in there, everybody in there is going to be great, man. You know what I mean? You're going to meet some great people at those meet and greets in Dumagetti. And I'm like, just because you got a couple of guys down there fighting and spreading a bunch of gossip, I love Dumagetti. I wouldn't live there, though. He said, I love them, but don't eat them. I need to keep my weight down. Yeah, I'm addicted to those jelly donuts, the raspberry, and in Louisville they got the lemon. And what I do, I just put them in the oven or the microwave for just a split second, just to get them just a little warm, and I could eat a whole dozen of them. And that's one of the things that I'm glad I don't really have over here, because that's why it was easy for me to lose weight over here. So I gained so much weight in America. I was overweight. When I came here, I really just got back down to my normal weight. But yeah, guys, I want to thank y'all so much for your super chats, super stickers, all your thumbs up. Because I got to go to the store and get a few things today. And, I really am fearing it, man, because it's hot out there. It's really hot, to be honest with you. To the point where you don't even want to go out, but you don't have a choice. See, Merlin's on that motorcycle. But all your support, thanks for everybody who's made a commitment to help with our little Christmas giveaway. I just want to do something special, man. I can't do it by myself anymore. If I could, I wouldn't even have put that out there like that. But I appreciate any help. If you haven't helped anybody, man, try to help somebody if it's not going to put your life in jeopardy. But yeah, these last few Christmases here in the Philippines, it's been a struggle for a lot of people, man. I just want to make it a special Christmas for a few families over here. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not trying to do anything spectacular. I was going to give away 5,000, which was a big deal. One of my, every week I do that spin wheel anyway. I just was going to put the 5,000 out there, and it garnered a lot of attention. And the guy says, hey, I'll match you. You don't have to match me. you know, if we can get enough to where we can do, if I can spin that wheel 10 times, man, that would be spectacular. I mean, nobody else is ever going to do that. But thank y'all so much. I really appreciate it. Take care, everybody. Hey, thanks, Ken. I'm sorry, I overlooked that. Thanks, the Emperor Angel, for that super sticker. Ken Blair. Let me go back. I'm sorry. I'm sitting there running my trap and went right over his super sticker. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that. Take care, everybody. I'm going to try to have that panel back on Thursday. AK Geechee Lion, I apologize, man. I don't know what you had going on, man. You had a lot going on. You were vlogging, videotaping, doing an interview. You was doing a whole bunch, man. I mean, that was the worst audio I've heard since I've been on YouTube. But we're going to try to do that, guys. Take care.